Hi, everyone. I'm having a good day. I hope you're having a good one as well. We're going to finish up the podcast, and we're getting close to the end of it anyway. And Aptera is talking about some advantages that they have. So we're going to get into that. So let's check it out. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. We appreciate everybody joining Free Power today to check this video out. And we can see that Aptera is continuing to make some moves. But today we're going to talk about some of the advantages that Aptera have over other auto companies. So let's check the rest of this podcast out and then we'll discuss some of their advantages. Let's check this video out.
One of the problems with people, especially in Denver as it's growing and some of the other cities around the country that are growing, they're not creating individual homes. They're creating apartment buildings. And with those apartment buildings, there are some parking spaces, but most of them are on the street. So it seems like this type of vehicle, because if I'm living on the sixth floor, I'm not able to run an extension cord out from my kitchen out the window and down to my car. So is that what this is designed for? Somebody who might be in that type of a situation, who can't necessarily always plug in sometimes, but be able to have a charge all the time?
Yes, but I think that's going to be a great advantage for someone that lives in an apartment block, like you said, and they don't have access to charging. But I would say I think it's incumbent upon the local officials, whether it's in Denver or San Diego, from the mayor, city manager, other officials, to ensure in the codes that, when we build new buildings, that we do set aside some provision for not free or public, but like paid charging, charge point, things like that. There should be a number of them that are sort of mandated to be installed when you get a permit to build a new 500 unit complex. You need to be able to build, just like you would, handicap ramps and things like that. You need to be able to build those chargers there as well, because we do want to ensure people have freedom of energy choices, and we don't want to make it hard for them to charge electric vehicles.
Yeah, my guest is Steve Fambro, is the co-founder and co-CEO of Aptera Motors, talking about their new solar charged electric vehicle. You can see it at aptera.us. They have videos all on the webpage right there of how the vehicle looks and acts. So are you looking to expand the design of the vehicle, maybe the size of the vehicle, maybe something that is a bit larger, or maybe something with four wheels?
Yeah, we have a really tantalizing product portfolio, but we're not showing it to anybody yet because we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, right? We've got 50,000 reservations of this vehicle. It's almost 3 years of production. We've got to get it into production and show the world that we can do what we say, that we can deliver on the product. And I think then it'll be appropriate for us to start sharing, future concepts and things like that. But right now we'd be getting over our skis if we talked about that too much.
And you've probably heard from and have read problems that Elon Musk had when he was first starting his Tesla business and the production of making a vehicle and bringing it to market. How is that going to go for you? You have very few of these vehicles right now. So how is that process going to look, and how are you going to create this vehicle on an assembly line basis or less than that to start filling these orders that you have?
We have a couple of advantages that Tesla did not have, that most manufacturers don't have, and that is we unlike a lot of people, we brought in Monroe and Associates from the beginning to help us design our vehicle. And so instead of a traditional automotive body with about 200 parts that have to be stamped and fixtured and welded together, we have fewer than 10 structural parts. So going from 200 to 10 parts radically simplifies our assembly procedure. It means the capital needs are less, the footprint of the factory is less, everything is less and smaller because we simply have fewer parts. Fewer parts also mean fewer tools, means less CapEx as well. So I think we're starting off at an advantage that most other manufacturers don't have, because we designed the vehicle from the beginning to be forged composite. And by doing so, we were able to consolidate 200 parts into about 10 parts.
But I think what people who own a Rivian are finding out, that they're doing a similar thing where they have their body is very few parts. So if there's damage to it, it's not like you can just replace part of the fender. You have to replace a large part of the vehicle if you want it to look new, or you just have somebody try to fix the body a little bit. So what if there is a wreck or any kind of body damage if you have so few parts?
Yeah, I can't speak to how other manufacturers are doing it, but I'll tell you with Aptera, most of the exterior panels are replaceable. And I think all of us are surprised today in today's market at how quickly they total vehicles for what seems like the smallest amount of injury. That's our goal. I think everything from the front subframe forward is replaceable in terms of structure and body panels. So all of that can be replaced up until a certain point after a major collision. Then like any vehicle, it might cost more to fix it than it would to replace it. So I would say we aim to be better than that, but I don't believe we'll be any worse than the industry standard.
Including the solar panels, where it would be easy to replace those. It's not just like I'm replacing the headlight. I mean, there's some complicated parts here.
Well, it is kind of like, actually, we did make it simple. Our goal is to make it simple because our partners are constantly improving the chemistry, the semiconductor efficiency on the solar cells. So we're going to Gen 7 cells very soon, which are going to be even more efficient than what we've been talking about. We want our customers to be able to replace panels with better panels, maybe at their choosing or if they're somehow damaged. So they are designed to be easily replaced.
So obviously, as we've been talking about, the car is taking pre-orders. So when do you expect to start filling those orders, and how much would one of these vehicles cost if I want to buy one?
For our launch edition vehicle, which is what we're selling right now, that's the 400-mile range, front-wheel drive, 42 kilowatt-hour battery pack. That retails for about $40,000. That's the plan right now. We should ship the first handful of those to a customer later this year. Right now, we're doing validation on those vehicles. So the vehicles we're building right now are that production design, but to be validated. So for durability, for thermal, for range, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we're doing right now. Those are the tests that we're doing.
That's remarkable, $40,000 to be able to create a vehicle where you can still make a profit and sell it for $40,000.
And there's no other vehicle that comes close for cost-wise. It goes 400 miles.
Yeah.
So this is going to be probably close to half the price of the next available 400-mile vehicle. And our analysis of the sales data to date in North America shows that customers overwhelmingly choose range over anything else.
Totally. That's why I have my car, and I've loved it because I don't have to worry about range because I have the generator inside.
So as Steve brought out, they do have several advantages, and one of them is he brought out how they're building a lot of apartment type buildings, whether that be condominiums or apartments themselves or townhomes, and how they don't have any charging stations by the parking spots, which is outside the building, which is normal. So of course you're not going to run an extension cord all the way from your apartment down to the street. And that's one of the big advantages Aptera have, is that you're going to get most of your charging from the solar panels. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be charging a lot at work. So by the time you drive home, guess what? You'll still be charging even when you park, especially during the summertime. So that's one advantage. Another one is that when they construct the Aptera, they're building them out of less parts. Most of the main parts of the Aptera, there's only about 6 of them. That makes it much easier to put them together. You don't need that much material. That means the factory is smaller footprint for that. So it'd be much faster to put them together and better to find a place or facility to put them together at, because the footprint will be smaller, as he brought out. So they'll be able to put a factory just about anywhere they choose. And whether they go and buy a building or whether they design and build their own building, that's a big advantage for Aptera because they don't need the extra added space. They just need a smaller space. Another advantage, which they didn't talk about, is that the Aptera is made out of composites. It's made out of SMC, and you don't have to worry about it rusting like your normal cars today, especially if you're up north. We know that, when it snows a lot, they put a lot of chemicals and all the other stuff to keep the roads from freezing up and icing. And so when that gets to your car, all that salt eats away at the vehicle structure. So with Aptera, you don't have to worry about that. So that's another good thing. He also talked about the vehicle getting in an accident. Well, another advantage is Aptera has right to repair, and you can basically fix your own vehicle, whatever damage may be. And of course, you have to buy it and they'll ship it to you. But that's another big advantage that Aptera has. They have the right to repair for you to fix your own vehicle. And then the subject came up about the solar panels. Now we know that those solar panels are interchangeable. They designed it where you can interchange them. That goes along with the right to repair. And as the solar panels get better, guess what? You can actually buy better panels. He said that they're going to generation 7 and they get better energy from the sun. So it just makes sense that, your solar panels are 9 times out of 10 last 10 years. But within about 5 years, you may want the better panels that'll be out then. So that's another big advantage that Aptera has. You exchange your panels, and instead of getting 40 miles of range, you may get 50 miles of range, or 60 miles of range, or 70 miles of range. So some wonderful things that Aptera is doing. I really love it. And of course, they have 50,000 orders. He said that they're going to be coming out with them at the end of this year, 2025. So looking forward to that. But of course, right now, what they're doing is they're validating the Aptera and testing all the systems, making sure that they work properly. And of course, I'll be bringing out, as soon as I find out, I'll be bringing it out to you. So stay tuned, and we will keep up with what Aptera is doing. And right now, I'm going to give a shout out to my patrons. I thank you guys very much. You guys truly are the heart of this program, and I truly appreciate all that you do. But I also like to thank everybody that's watching the video, and thank you for joining Free Power today. But if you're new here, hit the like, ring the bell, subscribe, and you'll catch all my Aptera videos when they come out. So you guys take care. Oh, and by the way, I want to know, how do you feel about everything that they're doing right now? I know most people, from their response, they're just ready for Aptera to hit the road. So they're saying that the end of the year, this is coming out. So just hang in there. And we know that Aptera did everything that they promised. So that's another promise that I'm looking forward to as well. So anyway, you guys, you take care. We'll catch you later. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.